we have got with us Dr. Bernard Patrick Ogwel, who is the General Secretary of the National Council of Sports. That is the body entrusted by government to oversee the running of sport in the whole of Uganda. Dr. Ogwel, of course, wears several other hats, which I'll excuse you from for the time being. We will just stick with him in this capacity, as well as in the capacity of the chairman of the finance committee of the local organizing committee for CHAN 2025 and AFCON 2027. In case you don't know what those two phrases are, if you've just dropped from some other planet, we will explain those. Doctor will tell you himself from his own words. Now, let's go into that interview with him. Mark.
Dr. Ogwel, you're most welcome to Mark to Mark Show.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Conversation with the reference. Doctor, sometimes Mark and I take it for granted that every Ghanaian understands what CHAN is. So people have asked, what is a CHAN? Is it Ochan? Is it a Chinese dish? Is it Jackie Chan? What exactly is CHAN?
Well, I want to first thank you for the opportunity and the great honor to be here this afternoon. At least I've been following you in the background. I'm very excited.
Thank you, Doctor.
That you have dedicated a special moment to talk about CHAN and AFCON, which I think could be the first, if not the only, dedicated. So I want to salute the entire team.
Thank you, Doctor.
For this great focus, but also to see our preparations in a different angle. CHAN is an abbreviation for Championship of African Nations, which takes care of local-based players in the different national leagues under the Confederation of African Football flagship. And I note that this could be entering, I think, the 8th edition in the calendar of CAF,
Yes.
which has continued to be one of the feeders of the best players growing the ranks and representing the continent of Africa in many different phases, in the leagues of Africa, in Europe, in Asia, and the rest of the rest. So that's what I know, and this is a very, very big achievement under the flagship of Confederation of African Football, which is popularly called CAF. This is their baby, and we are happy that finally the home-based players in the respective national leagues have something to show, because it is for them.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Doctor, you're saying that if a footballer is playing in Rwanda, in APR, for instance,
Yep.
he cannot play in CHAN for Uganda.
It is based on a player participating in a league of that country.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Doctor. Actually, because the national team, FUFA just summoned the national team for World Cup qualifiers. We have World Cup qualifiers at the end of the month. 20th, I think we play against Mozambique in Egypt, in Cairo, and then 25th we host Guinea at Nambole. So the ones you're asking about, for example, Dennis Omedi and Hakim Chiwanuka, who recently signed for APR, will be playing with the Cranes for the World Cup qualifiers, but they cannot play in CHAN
Exactly
in August. Yeah. Thank you, Doctor. And by the way, again, there are many Ugandans who might not know that before you took over at the helm of the National Council of Sports, you actually came from football. But now,
Apparently, Doctor played football.
He
and
did.
It was a very, very good midfielder, defender.
By the way, I always smile before I talk about it. I started from defense, actually a very formidable left back, and my coach then, Charles Katumba, the late,
yes,
pushed me to play midfield role, but attacking on the left back, the left wing.
Wow.
Then later I was solidly put to partner with this stubborn coach of NEC, Balango Hussein.
Hussein
This was my
Balango,
playing partner.
Okay. Oh, he was your playing partner.
Doctor sounds the kind of player Uganda friends would do with today.
So,
The attributes of left-sided.
I have played with national team players. Actually,
Yeah.
those the caliber of Hussein Balango, Simon Okwiki, and those dangerous Ndaula and the rest. Those are my playmates.
They are playmates. Okay. Very interesting.
So at least I can say that for 2 seasons in the Nile Special Super League, I was one of the feared strikers of Pamba FC.
Oh, you played for Pamba as a
Pamba,
striker,
yes.
having started at left back.
Yes.
Well, that's very interesting. People didn't know that.
So that aside, if you talk about football, I was a referee.
Yes, yeah, we know that.
In 1998, I was among the best referees of Uganda.
Yes.
We happened to have a FIFA high-level training program here in Logo. I slept here in this hostel. Among the FIFA referees and those 10 cream.
Okay.
And I have a picture to show you that I was there.
You're there.
But also on the football coaching, I was there. I
Yes.
was among the top 25 coaches. At that time, you know why.
Yes.
So before you come to look at administration,
You were there.
I was a footballer, I was a referee, I was a coach of a club in Super Division. But
Yes.
again, I went to administration
Yes,
as a
yeah.
FIFA delegate.
Uh-huh.
And you don't know, I've been vice president in FIFA
Yes.
for 2 editions. Vice president technical and also vice president youth.
Well,
So when you talk about football, I'm there.
You're there, yeah. It's great to see that you're a football man through and through. Now, you wear the hat of government representative. There are people out there who want to understand, why is government so interested this time? Why is government so involved? Because they've seen how the local government organizing committees have been assembled, what government is doing with around the country with infrastructure, how parliament, cabinet, everybody is pushing because of these tournaments. Why is government so interested and so involved this time?
The first thing first, government of Uganda loves sport. And from time immemorial, we have had history about Ugandan athletes excelling in the various international events.
Yes.
Even before independence. The list is there with me. But I want to say that football as an industry has grown, and nations are now using football for national development, economic development. Because the outturn in football development, which would mean bringing people from different ends to play each other, the national leagues, the various continental competitions, what comes out of it has made football a very big brand, not only in Africa, in Europe. But why this time around? Uganda has never had opportunity to think of hosting CHAN or Africa Cup of Nations, because our challenges of the time could have been very different. Challenges of the economic growth, insecurity, we call about poverty, other priority needs for national development were really at the forefront. Now government has progressed, and I can say that government appreciated our position as National Council of Sports. Because I would say when I became General Secretary, one of the key issues we addressed was to align our national development, align our strategic development plan to the national plan for Uganda. What you call the National Development Plan 3, NDP 3.
Yes.
So when we aligned that, I remember we were able to get a certificate of a decentralized plan, what you would call the lances. And I got to know that actually many government organs and agencies have not been able to do and follow that particular criteria of what government want to see. So when we came up with a very successful national development plan for National Council of Sports, for sport development, it brought in several interventions that now require government input directly. Because council was doing it at its level. We said now if we are to offer meaningful, impact in the national economic development processes, government must understand and put value to sports. So we justified and we provided the framework of what should be done. Infrastructural development. First of all, we need assessment of the needs. What we call project concept note was developed. In that, we're able to categorically lay out what Uganda is lacking. Meanwhile, on the outer layer, you would see the countries around us.
Yeah.
The Republic of Rwanda, Kenya, Tanzania, within the confines of East African community, they were doing something different from what we were doing. So we said, no. That's the time when we started talking about Akibo Olympic Stadium and Buhinga Stadium in Fort Photo.
Yeah.
Needless to mention details, we were able to do everything possible. Unfortunately, COVID came in. The grant, which was supposed to be provided by the Republic of China through what we call Forum of African Cooperation, FOCA, which was 100% concessional grant for construction of Buhinga Stadium and Akibwa. Because of COVID, they told us they have reviewed and reprioritized the money for other things to to take care of the COVID impact. So it was very unfortunate, but the angle of council then was to ensure that we have a multi-purpose, internationally accredited sports stadium in Uganda. That would now open Uganda to the rest. When we say multi-purpose, we are looking at a stadium which has possibility of hosting all indoor games, outdoor games, but provide a niche for hosting any continental showpiece, even global competition. Now, I can tell you we were able to achieve to the extent that the feasibility studies were all concluded. And now we're only waiting for the funds. This is when COVID struck.
Yes.
So this background is very important because at that point, what did we want to achieve? One, to show that Uganda can position itself to host international events.
Yeah.
We had not seen so closely that CHAN is near us and AFCON. Now, thank God, through the Federation of Uganda Football Associations, I think they were also dreaming the same dream with us in the background.
Yeah.
So when opportunity came in, I think in 2023, FUFA wrote to us and shared with us this idea, and we said, we have no problem. We justified it at council level. We said, if 2027, we can actually position ourselves. We sought for the approval of our political leadership at the ministry and to the president. When we briefed the president, I remember he says, 3 years is enough for us to put in place the necessary infrastructure. So from that moment, our thinking changed and ways of doing things. And remember, while in Egypt, where I attended together with the leader of the delegation then, the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, they said, if you take on AFCON, we can give you also CHAN. So our prayer then was not CHAN, our prayer was, AFCON. But they said, we shall give you as a bonus. And we said, we shall commit. Now that means now our preparation and thinking also changed. From AFCON to CHAN. Literally, what does that mean? It means that our preparation cycle started now on two fronts. But what came first? What came first was to secure acceptance of government. And later, we were able to provide the necessary guarantees. There are 7 in total, which CAF wanted. Government was able to sign that, and now we knew CAF had accepted us in a good faith to proceed. So as a government institution responsible, we had to now put our needs to actualize this whole process of hosting AFCON and CHAN. Now, the fact is, Uganda wanted to be counted among those nations of the world in Africa. First of all, with the abundant talent, which you already know, we have 6 world champions in different sport disciplines. It may not be football, but to show the world that Uganda is a country that promotes, that loves, and supports sports excellence. Now, athletes are already excelling and breaking world records. You already know them. So if we talk about football, our journey in football development has progressed. And there was no way we would not anticipate that hosting AFCON in Uganda and Chan would give us a better platform to showcase our talents. So government borrowed this outright, and now we started positioning ourselves that, okay, what do we need? We need infrastructure. We need the resources of government.
Yes.
So I want to say here that from the concept to the realities of how we should proceed, we started now prioritizing on the requirements according to CAF, which was in the bidding document. Remember the bidding document, you saw what you are going to do.
Yeah.
We promised that we are going to produce the number of training grounds, a number of stadiums with the capacities A, B, C, D. So the reality is that to actualize that, government had to show commitment to CAF formally, but also to actualize it by really implementing these programs. I am very happy and proud that as General Secretary, I was in the driving seat to ensure that what is required in the planning of government, in the budgeting of government, was done appropriately. To the extent that Cabinet was able to embrace and approve our midterm expenditure budget for AFCON and Chan. And I remember towards the end of last year, about 1.3 trillion was approved by Cabinet of Uganda. I was in that meeting.
Well, that's
Now,
unprecedented.
the beauty,
Doctor.
therefore, and the discussions was not now about Uganda's position, Uganda's ability. It was about hosting the best Africa Cup of Nations. Because what do we want now to achieve? We want now to be counted among the nations of Africa, the nation of the world, with ability, with the reputation. But I wanted to conclude by telling you why, you think government now said yes, AFCON come to Uganda. The opportunities which are there are many. Many people look at it in terms of only hosting. But how many people are coming? They are not only players. They are not only referees. They are not only fans.
Not only officials.
Different stakeholders come. And as far as I'm concerned, the list I have as of now, the CAF guests alone, I think they are not less than 2,000.
Wow.
CAF guests who are coming.
That's a huge number.
That's a huge
Okay?
number.
Now, when you look at the number of clubs, teams coming to East Africa, there are 19 national teams. You may do a simple arithmetic to know the delegation per country,
Yes.
averagely. So bringing everybody home to Uganda, for example, will open up opportunities for people to know us better and opportunities in Uganda, which will be an umbrella to showcase what Uganda is made of. We boast of one of the best tourist destinations, the best climate. You have traveled around the world.
Yes.
You know, Uganda, you don't need very many things. It's naturally favorable climatic condition.
Absolutely.
You don't need very many things. The food,
We are gifted
the,
by nature.
the fauna and flora and the rest, the beauty of our ladies and all that, the hospitality can be something different, which you may not get in other parts of the world.
That's a nice
Now,
the
the other important thing
Yes.
is that sports is one of the areas nations use to bring money to their economy. Because hosting an event, people spend money.
Yes.
You might be aware that all these three countries are required to put together 39 million US dollars just for Chan.
Yes. That's right.
And for AFCON, each of us was supposed to contribute 30 million US dollars. But you see, CAF is saying that is the money you are spending in your country for the operations of the tournament. They are not telling you that the money people are bringing and living here.
Yes.
So when you do a simple arithmetic, people are bringing money and leaving money here. So we are aware and positioning ourselves for the same. That will boost the local economy of our city, but also develop the business, small and big, in the city, in the surrounding. But The uniqueness is that we shall be setting history for ourselves.
Yes,
And history is the best thing to talk about for generations.
Yes.
absolutely.
But we also think that it's not about hosting. We also want to win. Our chances this time around
Yes.
would have the fan base.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Especially
It's,
this-
that is sort of forgotten, by the way, that we also want to
the
win.
weather
Yeah.
situation
Yeah.
is
Yes.
favorable,
Yes.
but also to make people know what we have as a country, which is very unique, and people talk about it, but they will see the realities when they come because of football.
Doctor, that brings me to the next question. What is in it for me as a restaurant owner, a border owner, a bar owner? How do I partake in this AFCON Omoja Bonanza?
A local Ugandan, yeah,
A local
because
Ugandan,
you,
a
when you
local
explain government side, everybody will understand
Yes.
the boosting of the
Me,
economy.
Omuntua
But then,
Wansi.
yeah, the Montua wants the guy on the street. How do you, yeah, what is in it?
What is in it for me?
Well, I want to say this. This is a unique opportunity for Ugandans who own any business. If it is a restaurant, you need to prepare that special dish. What is known, maybe you don't know this, that well over now people know Uganda, you can eat katogo.
Yes.
Uganda, you can eat Rolex.
Yeah.
Special dishes that may not be in other countries the way it is prepared in Uganda, and many others. So it is an opportunity for Ugandans to start preparing better dishes that showcase Uganda as a country. If you're border, you need to prepare at least to show solidarity of what we have with the rest of the countries. They should be able to have good transport systems which are effective, which are efficient. I know our borders have different qualities,
Yes.
but I think in transport system, Uganda has nice transport, but we can improve and make it better
Yes.
for the period, because I know CAF standards require, for example, the flow of traffic at that time, which will be managed in a certain way. But what is important is that everybody, border will be taking opportunity to get money, because people have to move from one place to the other.
Yes, yeah.
The transport companies, the airline companies,
Yes.
we would have chartered flights. Because like the local organizing committee,
Yes.
we have been telling CAF, how are we going to go and watch matches in Kenya, in Tanzania?
Yeah.
Yes.
You must pay Uganda Airlines
Yes.
and have chartered flight booked for a month. So when the delegation of CAF, our media, government wants to go and feel what is happening on the other side,
Yes, yeah.
you just go and use a national carrier.
Yeah.
So opportunities for different business entities
Yeah.
are really broad.
Okay.
So it's a detail that you should know: development of infrastructures, not only football stadiums, training facilities, but we are talking about airport. The one in Oima is just very ready now.
Yes, okay.
Actually, it's being used, but not open to the public,
Okay.
if I'm
yes.
to be very precise.
Yes.
But what are we talking about? It will open up this country. We will be able to access Oima or the southern part of the country easily, because we shall jump in a plane. In a few minutes, you're already in Oima.
Yeah.
Okay.
But our visitors can fly directly and land in Oima.
Yeah.
The same for Gulu Airport. They can fly and land. So the opportunities. But what is important, transport industry will benefit, the restaurants will benefit, the hotel industry will benefit. You can name it. I may not want to mention the other one. Everybody should position itself to market what Uganda is good of. This is a great opportunity that we have as a country.
Yeah.
As against the other business, which you never mentioned, but let's proceed.
Yeah, actually, he has. When you talk about the transport, before we go where Mark wants to go, I know where he wants to go. There's the bit about the trains as well. The train services in Kampala. I see they are trying to revive them now. What by 2027? Hopefully there'll be something. I know that government has also signed a new contract for the SGR, the Standard Gauge Railway. I don't know if that is part of the plan, but train services will be good to alleviate some of this transport pressure between, say, Nambole and
That's
and,
a very good question.
CBD, yeah.
That is already in the plan. Our plan, actually, if you look at the traffic flow, the train transport system will be very effective during the period. And I think there's a gazetted access system for people who will be using the train, which gate they will be using.
Yes,
It's already in our system.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Which will be showcased at
Wow.
an appropriate time.
That's
But to say the least is that on top of the rail transport, we would want to believe that there would be very organized transport arrangement. And we are trying to look at this from a perspective of professionally and ensuring that the different spectator or fans who want to access stadium have really excellent means of transport. Of course, we wanted to showcase what Uganda is made of. Kira Motors is ready. We know the other companies are ready. But to tell you another story, the Kampala Ginger Express Highway will commence soon, according to the talk on the ground.
Yes, okay.
If they do a good job within a very short time, possibly even this route here, accessing Nambole, would be transformed.
Yeah, once they
And
do
it would make it more effective.
Oh, that would be a
So
major
I'm not worried as a person for anybody in the city center to reach Nambole Stadium. We are also looking at all the modalities of the access systems that will be activated for our fans and the people accessing the stadium.
Okay,
It
Doctor.
has been revamped, and that will be revealed soon.
Soon, okay.
What we think will make a difference, so that you don't go and queue, you just go and access and enter and go ahead.
Yeah,
We are
but-
trying to look at all these options, and a very good report is soon coming out for us.
To be
So I
okay.
may not preempt that discussion.
That, yeah.
But
But-
my pledge is we are planning better
Better, yeah.
for all our fans and our people who want to enjoy
But-
accessing the stadium.
But that reminds me, it has just reminded me, Mark, about the hotel rooms, the number of beds we have available in Uganda. Kampala, Hoima, Gulu, Lira, to start with. What are the plans to see all the people you're saying are going to flock our country? How are we going to accommodate them? And is government doing anything to empower people in the private sector to come up with these rooms? Does government have its own plan? How are we going to do this?
Well, that's a very good question. And it's part of the parameters for CAF to grant us opportunity. We don't have worries for Chan because Chan will be in Kampala, which will be having all the
Yes.
amenities.
There's enough rooms for the guests.
The amenities are all available.
Yes.
Now, when we talk about Oima and Akibwa, we are looking at best alternatives with the private sector to be boosted. Because the quality of the hotels are not ordinary hotels.
Yeah.
We are talking about 4-star, 5-star hotels.
That's what CAF wants.
So already, yes, we have information, and our strategy now is to start engaging the relevant. About government, yes, government is planning something, but not at this stage to be revealed. Now that we have confirmed that the stadium are being worked on, people have been doubting. Now they no longer have those doubts in their minds.
No, those ones are gone,
Because
yeah.
we are aware of people who have money, that they are ready to put money and pull out 5-star hotels and 4-star hotels in Oima and Lira.
Dr. Ogwel,
So that one is not a big worry, but we are going to address it as a concern because as of now, you may ask me, we don't have those standards. That's true, but we are going to reach them.
Dr. Ogwel,
Okay.
a football match typically lasts 90 minutes.
Yes.
And even if Senambo had a double header, that would be 180 minutes. But what is a fan from Zambia or the DRC or Ivory Coast, what is it going to do for the rest of the time? Because the 90 minutes will come at the end. How have you catered in your planning for the other time? How are they going to spend the other time? Because typically, I'm sure you've got to factor in how he's going to spend the other time of his day beyond the football match. Basically, the after football experiences. Is it something which has figured prominently in your high-level discussions as the organizers of Chan?
Well, I think for me, this is well structured. If you look critically in the 13 subcommittees in the local organizing committee, we have a particular subcommittee whose main task is to ensure that the fans' experience in these competitions are at its highest. And that we are demanding for a strategy.
I'm on that committee.
And my brother Mark here will tell you
I'm on
they have a huge budget.
Yes,
But as a country, we want to take advantage and make everybody feel Uganda. So we are going to come with a very proactive approaches to boost that committee to come with strategies that will give a lifetime experience for all the visitors, players, officials, the fans, and whatever you want to mention. Not to just look at Uganda, but they will discover Uganda.
Discover Uganda. Okay.
Thank
Yeah, I think virtually, Doctor, you've laid it out for us as far as the government is concerned, why they're involved, the genesis of government's involvement and where we are. And you've also told us about the common man. What is in it for him? Mostly you're asking us to ask people to position themselves to make some money off of this. It's basically a money minting thing, this kind of tournament. And we would like to thank you. Thank you so much for according us that time.
I lastly want to say that Uganda is gifted by nature, and we welcome everybody to come and enjoy Uganda and Ugandans. And I know it will be party after party, party after party.
Wow.
You are welcome to Uganda.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you.